Hello guys, Boris here, and today I'm coming to you guys with another one of my One Piece Theory videos. In case you guys haven't checked it out, check out part 1. I'll link it somewhere around here, because this is a continuation of the first video. Okay, and in terms of upcoming One Piece videos, I have planned probably for this week, I'm going to do some sort of guide to the swords of One Piece, the different swords, the ranking system, and the ones that we've seen throughout the series, because I do think that swords are going to play an important role later on in the series. Now, I'm also going to have a theory regarding the newest cover story, so I'll have that up at the later date. But that's it right now for in terms of One Piece videos that I have planned for like the next couple of weeks. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So I want to start off with by saying that the first video focused on Zoe, what I thought would happen at Zoe, at Wano Kuni, and the and Whitebeard pirates. So this video is going to focus more on Wano Kuni, and it's going to be more based on a theory that I'm going to link down below. It's going to be part that theory, and then I'm going to sort of give my opinions on some of the stuff he said, because I have some different opinions. I'll also give some of my own thoughts in there. And so pretty much, this is going to start with this character, Ryuma. Like always, I have my pictures. And so Ryuma was a samurai from Wano Kuni, and he was first seen, or pretty much we saw him at Thriller Bark as one of Gecko Moria's sort of shadow slaves that he had. And he's actually a very important figure in One Piece. He ended up giving his sword, Shu Sui, to Zoro after Zoro defeated him. And the reason he's so important is because he's actually a legendary hero of Wano Kuni. Okay, to say some further stuff, he's based off a character that Ichiro Oda, the creator of One Piece, he made a little short one-shot story before he wrote One Piece, and so this character actually is that same samurai from that side story. So it's he's a very important character, not just to the world of One Piece, but to the creator of One Piece himself, Oda. So now in this next picture, we'll see just how important he is. And so I must have misjudged you, the horrific incident that brought the entire country to its knees, the defiling of the grave of Wano's greatest hero. It was you. So for a second there, Kinemon thought that the One Piece pirates were responsible for the defiling of Wano's greatest hero, of his grave, and the misfortune and calamities that came forth after that incident. So, I mean, this lets us know that there was, at some point, someone came, took the body out of the grave, Gecko Moria, and then an incident happened. So something happened after that, after the body was left the tomb, pretty much. Okay, and then also it says, then explain to me why Ryuma's legendary Shusui is doing glue to your hip. So I mean, it confirms that the samurai he's talking about is Ryuma. So the sword did actually belong to Ryuma. So legendary, pretty much hero, and it's like his iconic weapon were both stolen from the country. And so this meant a lot to Kinemon and a lot to the members of Wano Kuni. And just in the one shot, the story goes that he actually ended up slicing a dragon, pretty much, and saving the country after killing, or I'm not sure if it's a country, but it was a town. So he was known as the king. So he's a really cool figure, and Wano Kuni really respected him as that. So when it comes to Gecko Moria, the first thing that we know is that he was defeated by Kaido in the New World, as you guys can see in this picture. And then the other thing that we know about Moria is that he lost his entire crew. And so the reason that he trying to acquire a shadow army is not just to become king of the pirates, but also he feels that that his comrades are better that way, and that they don't feel pain, and that they can't die. He was so scarred by that it really affected him. So everyone pretty much assumes that the person or the people who destroyed his crew, who killed off his entire crew, was Kaido, because I mean Kaido, he lost to Kaido, and there's not really that many people who are stronger than Kaido, so it doesn't make sense for someone, someone lower to kill off his whole crew if Kaido couldn't do it. So going by that assumption, uh, we what this theory pretty much speculates is that right after Moria took the body from Wano Kuni, he was attacked by Kaido and defeated, and Kaido ended up taking over Wano Kuni. But there's a couple things here. First off, the theory is that it's not actually that it's Kaido, but that's like Kaido's subordinate, or at least that's what I believe. And I'll go into a little bit of that later. That it's not actually Kaido, but it was like one of Kaido's like division commanders. And the other thing is that the theory states that Moria wanted to take over Wano Kuni. I don't really believe that. I think it's mainly he was going around collecting different legendary kind of pirates to assemble this cool army of really strong, really talented shadow zombies. And evidence of that is, I mean, look at the people who he had. He had sorry, I mean Oars. He had Oars. Another famous person that he had was Captain John. In case you guys don't know who Captain John is, he's the legendary pirate who hid his own treasure, Captain John's treasure, the one that Buggy has been looking for the entire series. And that bracelet that Luffy gave to Buggy at Impel Down, that's the treasure map to Captain John's treasure, which was found at Thriller Bark. So Captain John's a very important figure of the past. Though I mean, his treasure will come into play at some point. But yeah, so we know that Moria has some pretty legendary people on his, as shadow zombies, and so that I actually believe that he was just looking and scouring New World for sort of more dead bodies and puppets, similar to a Naruto. You have Kabuto, I think is his name, who looks around for dead bodies throughout the series to reanimate them at the end. So that's why I don't believe that Kaido was trying to. That's right, not Kaido. Moria was trying to take over Wano Kuni. But I do agree, or I do believe that right after some person related to Kaido came in, stepped into Wano Kuni, and messed things up pretty much. Because as Kinemon said, right after that the grave was defiled, some big calamity befell on the country. Okay. Now, not only do I believe that because Moria lost to Kaido, but we also see here, this is the reaction that Kinemon and Momonosuke had to one of the Straw Hats mentioning Kaido. So in one page they mention Kaido, next page this is the reaction that they give. It frightens Momonosuke so much that he even turns into dragon form. So we know that they at least know of 100 Beast Kaido, and we know that they're scared to some degree, or at least intimidated by them. So, sorry. Okay. So now, question is what more evidence do I have of that? So the theory goes on to say that it has to do with the dragon, okay? And so when I'm not talking about Monkey D. Dragon, I'm talking about the Kinemon's hate towards dragons. Kinemon has an innate hate towards dragons, as we've seen here, which he says, I cannot remain like this upon hearing the word dragon. So just the word, mentioning the word dragon, stirs him up. Same thing in this picture right here, where it says, it seems as though it's as if revenge for your family or something. After he killed the dragon and he was like beating it up, and he's like, yeah, revenge is not far off. So there is something that happened in the past to Kinemon and Momonosuke that made them, specifically in this case Kinemon, that makes him really hate dragons. Just the mention of a dragon really scares him, or not, I don't know if scares him, but really makes him feel angry, and revenge is not far off, as he says. And so, in old Chinese mythology, there's these four constellation gods that appear frequently in mythology, um, and the theory, the many theories that each one of the Yonko is based on one of these four gods. So, in the theory that I'm talking about, he says that what the white tiger represents Whitebeard, uh, the black tortoise represents Big Mom, and the Azure Dragon represents Kaido. So they're making the relationship between Dragon and Kaido. Um, and so my problem with this is that I actually think that this does not refer to the emperors, but rather to the people, to kind of like their first division commander, sort of. Because with Whitebeard we have a phoenix, a crimson phoenix. Um, with Big Mom, we have the tortoise, the black tortoise. We have Peckhams, um, and so and then that would mean that one of Whitebeard's men would be a white tiger. Beckman does have white hair, so there's a possibility of that. But I think it makes more sense this way, and so that would imply that it's not Kaido who attacked Wano Kuni, but rather one of his division commanders who ate the dragon fruit. Um, and that's why it all comes back around, because Ryuma killed the dragon. He became a hero. He was his grave was defiled, and so then the dragon came back. But it's not. Of course, it's a devil fruit user and wreaked havoc, and so people saw that as a sort of because the Wano Kuni people are sort of isolated. They probably saw that as sort of the gods' retribution upon them for defiling the grave of the hero. So, so that's why I believe that it wasn't Kaido, but it was like Kaido's underling. Okay, so enough about the past of Wano Kuni. What exactly is going on at the present? And so, as you see from this picture, we know that there's some sort of war, this mini war going on between the neighboring countries of Wano Kuni and Dressrosa. And there's this secret arms trade that's going on between them. No one really knows what's going on, and so the king of Wano Kuni sent Sai, Bu, and Dong Qingjiao to try to end it all by taking down Doflamingo, who seems to be the ringleader. And so, in case you guys didn't know, these three have the same numbers as Scotch has. You can't see Bu's here, but I believe we see it somewhere else in the manga. And Scotch, for those of you who don't know, is the sort of cyborg-looking guy who stopped X Drake at Kaido's island right before the time skip. And so this indicates to us that these members of Wano Kuni are somehow affiliated with Kaido, even if they don't know it. And so if you see here in the next picture, Sabo's mission was also to try to take down the secret arms that are being transported between islands. And as you see here, he actually does find them at the port. And you see the ships from different kingdoms. They're sending and bringing in different weapons. And the importance of that is that it looks like really no one knows what's going on. It looks like Kaido has everyone sort of battling each other while he amasses power with the help of Doflamingo, along with the help of the artificial devil fruit users. So it's very interesting. There's a lot of stuff that's going to go on right now. Is Wano Kuni really tied into all this, like this mini war and this like transfer of arms from here and there? Was it in the past? In the past, were they really attacked by Kaido? Or was the reason they left for Zoe was the reason to find Whitebeard for help, like I sort of talked about in my last video? Again, this is more of me presenting to you with a theory that I found online, And I tend to agree with a lot of the stuff in there. There's some stuff that I disagree with. I talked about it. Um, but yeah, like I said, it's One Piece. You never know what can happen, and I just like to speculate because that's what I like to I like to do with these anime series. Really get my mind going. And so leave down below what you guys think is going to happen. I like reading your comments. I read all of them. I don't respond to a lot of them. That's mainly because then you have to respond to all of them, and I don't want to have that responsibility. But I do read them, so go ahead and post them, and let me just see what you guys think. So like always, guys, if you like this, make sure to leave a thumbs up. Share the video like you guys always do. Really appreciate that. And until next time, guys, thanks for watching.